Mi gente, welcome back. Do you have the mindset to be a successful entrepreneur? Well, I just recently left the company that I built to $17 million in revenue to start a whole new entrepreneur journey. Starting it from scratch, my ultimate challenge. However, I had to build the right mindsets. I had to basically recreate myself. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the mindsets that I'm currently working on. But before, I got something special in the mail, so let's get that first. I just can't wait to open it, so let's go ahead and right now. I'm actually prepared to open my box. Yep. Let's sit you down first. I love reading books. As you already know, and this book is another one to my collections. Just really learning about social awareness, relationships, like managing relationships, and this is really good for leadership. So hopefully, I should probably do a show you guys all my book collection. That doesn't sound like a bad video. All right, let's get going. Mindset number 1. Rediscovering my why. Do you know your why? Do you know your purpose? So I was listening to this podcast by Bedros Keuilian. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but he was talking about an Australian Shepherd dog. So these dogs, they have a purpose. Their purpose is to herd animals and protect them, typically like sheep. And so if you grab an Australian Shepherd and you put them in a fence and limiting their space, all of a sudden they start digging holes, okay? And you wonder, why are they digging holes? And that's because they're in a depressive emotional state. So they try to find a purpose to themselves, and that's digging holes. And so that was what I was going through last year. I was digging holes. So I had to dig deep into really finding my why and be very clear. And I discovered that money wasn't driving me anymore. Status to look good in the public didn't drive me. Freedom used to drive me. That's the reason why I did my previous business. It was I was focused on freedom. I wanted freedom. I didn't like people telling me what to do, and I wanted freedom with money. So that way I could do whatever the hell I wanted. But that doesn't drive me anymore. And I had to really find a strong why that would get me even emotional about it, and it took a lot of self-reflection, a lot of deep thinking. So in the self-reflection, I looked at my past, and I come from an Hispanic Mexican family. I grew up poor. We were not dirt poor, but we were not, at least you could say, not even in the middle class. We were a migrant family, so we grew up picking asparagus, picking apples, cherries, blueberries, durazno. Fuck, I fucking hated durazno. And all that was what shaped my childhood. So desde chiquito, since I was a kid, my dad put me to work. And all that, he always said, you gotta work hard, mijo, porque si no, this is where you're gonna be working at. So I know just coming from that background really has shaped a lot of my thoughts and what I believe in. And also just throughout being in companies and that, I'm not a fan of just like bosses that that just don't take care of their people. And it's just not the way I see things. I guess my personality as well, how I really care. And so all that has really shaped me, and it motivates me to do two things. I came to this world to make my mark. I came to this world to make an impact. And so I want to die and people remember me for something. And so that really drives me. So that's like a purpose. And so I'm doing this channel. I'm doing this channel to inspire and show the way to my Hispanic community, to my Hispanic leaders, so they can continue to grow and provide for their families. And you know, coming from immigrant backgrounds and really being able to help our community, my Hispanic community. And that's why I'm doing this channel as well. As far as the company, I want to create a company where people that are there, my team that puts their blood, sweat, and tears into this company, get an opportunity also for them and for their families, and not just bread and water on the table. You know, really winning as a team. And that's why I call it, that's why I've named it Wolf Steel Buildings. And it's because wolves hunt as a pack. They share their food, and that's what I want. I want to hunt as a pack. I want to make sure that we take care of each other, that we take care of our team, and that's all combines into my why, to leave a legacy and to really make an impact in people. And that gets me emotional. That will push me through hard times. I'm showing you a little bit of the skyline of Dallas. These are probably my last couple weeks before I head out of here. And I really enjoyed Dallas. Dallas was fun, although I kind of moved whenever COVID was hitting, so I didn't really go out, and also traveling with my previous business. But this past year, and I really got to enjoy it, and I still love it, and I'll still probably be coming here often, but I am moving out of the city, and I'll show you guys a little bit of the skyline to enjoy it yourself. Mindset number 2, discipline. So I started reading this book by Will Smith, and I think it's his autobiography. And the first chapter, he teaches you how to slap the shit out of a comedian. No, I'm just kidding. I know that just happened recently, but let's forget that. And no, he was actually really talking about when he was young, his dad put him and his brother to build a brick wall, a long brick wall. And like anything, at first he was really excited. So they were really excited. They started building, they started doing the cement, started laying bricks, and they realized, wow, this is gonna take forever. This is gonna take months. And so after a couple days, they started, complaining, and until his dad came and he said, don't worry about the wall. Don't worry about how long it is. Don't worry about that wall. It's gonna happen, he said. Worry about putting the brick perfectly. Every day, worry about putting a brick. Eventually the wall will come. That is basically reminding me about like how I need to stay disciplined to my bigger goal, my vision, right? It's like every day, just all I have to worry is focus on that brick, setting that brick perfectly. Like last year, I was not motivated. I was not disciplined. My mindset was off, and I knew I had to change that, because this entrepreneur journey that mindset was not gonna take me there. And the reason this is important is because before I was working my ass off before, and this new journey, I have to get that mindset back, bust my ass, no complaining, do whatever it takes, and stop my little bitch voice from, you know, really dominating me and controlling me. So that's number 2. Mindset number 3, winning against self-doubt. So like, once I had my vision board and I was very clear that I wanted to do business here, or I wanted to stay here in Texas and really establish a family and just live here. One of the troubles that I had was that the people around me were telling me that, oh, like Texas is very fierce and very competitive market. And so all those people talking around me, you know, maybe you should consider it somewhere else, you should consider it over in this state or whatever. That's the self-doubt creeping in from my environment. And I had to shut it down. I had to shut it down because I wanted to be here in Texas, and I am gonna be here in Texas. It took a lot of like self-talk, a lot of like repetition, and being conscious of of all those negative talks that were around me and that were creeping up in my head. I mean, I had to like talk to myself and technically brainwash myself and say, I have the knowledge. I built a very successful business before like this. And you know what? At the end of the day, if I have to get my hands dirty like I used to, I'll fucking build the buildings myself. But I'm gonna fucking make it, and I'm gonna make it here in Texas. Also, like, for this YouTube channel, like me speaking in this camera and really like just it's challenging, and it's also like I'm kind of self-conscious, and like this is like showing off all my flaws. I mean, do you see that I have an ear taller than the other? But you know, like that for some of you might be easy, but it's actually challenging for me. Also, like, I also wonder, is my content good? You know, I see Patrick Bet-David's content. I see Alex Hermosi, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and they have some great content. And that self-doubt starts creeping in, where like I'm already comparing myself. So like that fear starts like creeping up on me, and I have to make it a habit to like, you know, I'm working on that. It's like to suppress it. No, I can do it, and I am worthy, and you know, so a lot of self-talk. And so that's like my everyday. I'm at war with my fears, myself, like doubts. It's just never ending. But the important thing is to win more battles, you know, because it's just not gonna stop. So the important thing that I'm doing to be able to win against this, I've been working on this for like the past 40 days so far. And to make it a habit, it's like 60 days. So subconsciously, it's just like fear, bah, you know, like some people use like the rubber band. Like if you start having, you know, you flick it to inflict pain on you. And that's what I'm doing. I'm working that so I know that I'll do whatever it fucking takes, not allow fear to control me, and I'm gonna like suppress that. And to give you guys an update where I'm at with this entrepreneur journey, so like my website should be coming out in the next 2-3 weeks. I've already recruited, and I'm gonna bring on a new team member in the next 2-3 weeks, so it's coming really soon. So I'm actually gonna do a video on how to hire, something that I've gone through my ups and downs through, and that way I'm gonna do a video coming up on that. But that's what's coming up with my journey in this entrepreneur journey.